Here we are, already into hour number 4. Catherine Austin Fitz coming up at T-minus 7 minutes. Let's go right back to the calls for our guest, member of Iceland's parliament, the real leadership, the chairman of her party against the banker takeover. They got a good chance of beating them. The bankers are already starting to fold and saying, okay, you don't have to be total slaves. We'll let you keep a couple of Icelandic dollars. Let's go to Alex in Georgia. You're on the air with our guest, Birgitta Jonsdottir. Go ahead.
Hey, Birgitta, I had a question. It might be a little redundant from the last caller, but you mentioned something about an international online petition. Is that still in the works, or is that something that could be at the website? Or
yes, I'm actually putting it together, and I haven't had time to finish it off today. But it is going to be on this website, savethepeopleoficeland.com. And I guess the only thing that we're asking is that people just put their name there, that they support us in this battle.
Well, Iceland is the very front line of the bankers trying to rape and rob the first world. We've got to stop them there, and we've got a good chance. Anything else, Alex?
No, that's it. Just wondering where I can help out and support the cause, and good for it.
Thank you for caring.
Birgitta, what else can we do to help Iceland?
Just spread the word, and if you find any, if you happen to stumble across any information that might help us to get the IMF out of Iceland, use services like WikiLeaks, because we feel that this is a much bigger problem than just Iceland's problem. Like they said, experts in the European law has said that it is actually a question if we have any legal responsibility in it. It is a big legal question. So, You don't. You have bankers that engaged in fraud. The instruments sold to them by Goldman Sachs and others and the Bank of England are fraud. They're using anti-terror laws to try to grab people's accounts. They're threatening embargoes against your nation. This is terrorism. This is blackmail that must be defeated. We can't let them devour your nation. Absolutely true. And like I said, this might just be the beginning. We might be the first world country to suffer from this sort of attack.
Well, we see Greece saying no. We see other nations saying no. We identify these frauds for what they are and let the banks fail. The people don't owe this debt. Thank you so much, Alex. Rick in California, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Alex, for taking the call. Real quick, I see a lot on the media. I watch a lot. I listen to you guys. I listen to a lot of other news sources. The key thing I just was curious about is that you have a lot of these people now that are pushing for credit unions as like the new way to kind of help the economy or help defeat the banks in some way, shape, or form, of putting a run on the major banks. But isn't that kind of like the dog, or wagging the tail wagging the dog type scenario?
Well, whatever you can do to decentralize, to get out of the big banks, to support local, it's all part of a process of learning and awakening to these parasites. Birgitta?
Yeah, I totally agree. Actually, one of the first things that I did during the collapse of the banks was to see if there were any banks in Iceland that had not been, over-investing or, part of this big scam. And there are actually 2 banks that I found in Iceland, and they're in the countryside. So I moved. I actually didn't have much money, so I moved the little money I had and all my transactions over to there. And I encourage people not to participate in the big bank scams. I mean, the only way to change anything is to change your own ways.
Absolutely, and I'm trying to do that as well. We have an operation that's international, so we do have some money in several big banks, but we're trying to move it into smaller banks, but that's a great idea. Thank you so much, Rick. I wish we could go to Randy and others, but we can't. We could talk to Catherine Austin Fitz coming up if you'd like. Birgitta Jonsdottir, member of the Icelandic Parliament. We'll certainly have you back up as things unfold in this key battleground sector that you're in. And we thank God that great people like yourself have been risen up to the fore in this key juncture in human society. So we appreciate your fight for liberty and justice and the truth, and we are with the people of Iceland against this tyranny. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Take care.